What's up, guys, and welcome to VEDA Day 11. Alright guys, so I am off of work and heading home. Today was a fairly busy day. I was covering for Alexa because she left to go check on baby. We don't know a baby name because she done went through 18 names, so we just say baby. So yeah, she had her appointment or whatever. So yeah, I just covered for her, and then I had some stuff going on in my actual job that I had to do, a bunch of clinic startups and stuff. And then we had a meeting today to teach us the protocol to follow whenever there's an active shooter or any workplace violence, which just really saddens me because, for one, I've only had as a real job, my last job I was there for 10 years, and then this job I've been here for 3 years. And I did work at McDonald's for about 6 months, and there I was robbed 4 times in 1 month, so I know what it is to go through workplace violence. But that was in a bad part of town and all that stuff. But anyway, I said all that to say, it just saddens me that we even have to have these meetings, because it was literally an hour and a half long just going over protocol for if somebody just fucking go off and want to shoot up the place. And I just thought that was just, so sad. Why can't people, that's a whole nother story. So that's not what this video is about. This video is pretty much me telling on myself. The last couple story times that I did, I've been telling you about stories of ex-friends and the dumb decisions that they made, and I'm the one that will tell on myself, guys. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I have messed up many of times in my life, but the difference between me and some people is when I mess up, I know how to say, you know what, Crystal, you messed up, and I learned from that lesson. Once I got one time, I don't do it no more. I don't do it no more. So anyway, this one is a pretty funny story time. Well, it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. So I want to go ahead and tell y'all. Okay, so guys, this dates back to college, and I had a roommate in college that was pregnant, and she was at the end of her pregnancy, just preparing to get ready and have her baby. Well, anyway, it was April Fool's Day, and I always get my mama I was one of them torturing ass children. I would do anything to my mama just to torture her. Not in a bad way, but I was the only child and I was spoiled, so I could kind of get away with a lot of stuff. So I just used that to my advantage, and I kind of used to torture her. That's why I'm a little hesitant on my child. I'm gonna have to beat my child, y'all, because I was a bad child and I didn't get whooped. Well, I got whoopings from my father or whatever, but it took a lot of building up to happen, you know what I'm saying? But for my child, when I see the red flags, what I used to do to my mom and them, I'm gonna be like, look, you're not gonna do me like that. So anyway, y'all, I used to torture my mama. So April Fool time came, and I did not know what else I could do. I had already pranked her and did so much stuff. So this time I thought, you know what, my roommate is pregnant, let me do a pregnancy prank on her. So I get my roommate to pee on the pregnancy test, that way it can say pregnant, because I know my mama, and since I do torture her so much, she always be like, you lying, Crystal, tell me the truth. Or she be like, show me a picture. My mama's good at that. So I was like, let me get my ducks in a row, because I don't want nothing, I don't want her to think nothing's off. So it's April Fool's. And so I called my mama, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, nothing. She's like, oh, you calling me, what you want? Because I was in college, y'all. I was doing my own thing. She was like, what you want? And I was like, well, I have something to tell you, and I really don't know how to tell you this, but, And she was like, okay, you could tell me. And then I was like, can I just text it to you? I feel better texting it to you. So she was like, yeah, text it to me. So I texted my mama, and I said, I'm pregnant. And so she texted me back and said, you lying, you not pregnant. And I text her back, and I was like, things happen. I am gonna finish college. I know I'm getting, close to the end of my college or whatever, so I will finish, but it's just gonna be a baby around. And my mama was like, well, you know what, me and your daddy are here for you. You don't worry about anything, just finish school. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, but I still don't believe you, but I'll go along with it. So that's when I sent her the picture of the pregnancy test or whatever. And so when I sent her that picture, she sent called me back, and she was just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're pregnant. And then the way she was screaming, I thought she was upset. So I was like, calm down, mama, calm down. And she was just like, I just can't believe this is what we've been waiting for. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, she like she think I'm telling the truth. So I was like, yes. I was like, at first I was sad, but now I started thinking about it, and I was like, now that I know you and my daddy are, now that I know you are happy about it, because my daddy is just the most loving man ever. So if my mama like it, my daddy love it, you know. So I was just like, I'm so glad that y'all gonna be in my corner. So again, me and my mom got off the phone or whatever, so I'm just doing my own little thing. So April Fool's passed or whatever. So the next day she called me, and I can't remember what we was talking about, of course, because this was years ago. And I was like, I'm gonna come home this weekend, and she was just like, okay, cool, go ahead. And I rarely came home because, you know, I was doing my own thing. It was college, so even if I came to Dallas, it was to party and club and drink and date and do stuff like that. Like, it was never for me to come home to my family. Like, you know, I'll slide through every now and again to see them, but for me to just be like, oh, I'm gonna come home and go straight to my parents' house, like, that was far and few in between. But anyway, so I told her I was coming home, so she's like, okay, cool, I'm so excited, I can't wait to see you. Then she asked me, she's like, are you showing? And I was like, a little bit, but yeah, I've always been plus size, and even if I wasn't like my biggest plus size, I've always had a good, hey, it is what it is. So I was like, yeah, a little bit, y'all. So I sent her a picture of my little fat belly. I'm trying to poke it out, and she's like, she, you know, told me a back, and she was like, oh my God, how far along are you? And I was like, well, I don't go to the doctor till next week. Y'all, I'm really carrying this lot out. So my mom was like, I'm just so excited. And she was like, well, I told your big mama. And my big mama is not my real grandmother. It was my church grandmother, but me and her got super close. And then when my grandmother passed away, she did kind of step in and take the place of my grandmother. So she was like, well, I'm gonna tell big mama. And I was like, no, let me tell her, because y'all remember, I'm telling a whole lot here. So I don't want her to get my big mama hopes up, and then if my big mama mad that I'm pregnant, I don't want her to, like, you know, pass away or nothing, because I done told her I was pregnant. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all, my bad. Baby was calling, and I needed to fix the light on this camera. So let's get back to the story. So I forgot where I was, but I think I was telling y'all, like, I didn't want her to tell my big mama because I was lying. So I didn't want my big mama to, one, feel some kind of way or whatever, because I'm like the only person in my family that went to college. So I didn't like want her to feel some kind of way, you know, and just be like, oh my gosh, she's having a baby and and then I didn't want them to like be super excited, because again, this is a whole lot. So anyway, I go about my business, me and my mama side. You know, we still talk every day, but she never says anything else about the pregnancy. Like, after I talked to her the next day, she didn't say nothing else about it. And honestly, y'all, I forgot. Like, I forgot that I told the lady that. I mean, like, I was playing a joke that I was pregnant, and I hadn't even came back and said April Fool's. And April Fool's, they had passed or whatever. So the weekend comes up, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta keep my word. I said I was going home. So I drive back to Dallas from school, and when I walk into my parents' house, there is a crib, a diaper bag, a ton of socks, blankets, onesies, pacifiers, bottles. Like, y'all, the whole table is covered in baby stuff. Again, there's a crib. I mean, it was just all kind of shit. A stroller. Now that I think about it, like, I don't know if I realized at that moment that all that was for me or what. I guess, I don't know what I was thinking, but all I knew is when I saw all that stuff, my mama and daddy weren't home. They were at work. So I was just like, okay. So then I go chill out, go give me something to eat, and I'm sitting on the couch, and my mama walks in. So she walks in, there go my baby with my grandbaby. And that is when it dawned on me, like, bitch, yes, you thought all this stuff was for you, and it is for you, for one. And two, you never did tell this lady it was an April Fool's joke. So she done went and bought all of this shit thinking that you are truly pregnant. How are you going to now tell her that you are not pregnant, y'all? I had anxiety, and I deserved everything I was feeling at that moment, because again, if you are gonna play those types of jokes on people, don't let it go for days at a time, because people's feelings get involved, your feelings get involved. And not to say I was lying, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh my God, why did I do this? And then when I started seeing everything, and I was just like, they went and spent a grip. Y'all, they had already got me the crib and everything. Onesies, pacifiers, like everything. So I was just like, shit, I don't want to say nothing. So I told my mama real quick, I was like, I'm finna dip for a minute, I'll be back. So my mama said, okay, be careful and don't be out too late and watch your belly. Like, she was just really talking about me being pregnant. So I left and I went to my friend's house and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And she was like, you gotta tell her, Crystal, like, you gotta tell her. And I'm like, I can't tell her. This is all this shit that she got me. And she was like, well, that comes with the territory, because for one, you shouldn't have let it go on this long, and for two, you shouldn't have let it go on this long. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you so right. So I come back to the house, and when I get there, I see my, you know, my dad is up, and I'm like, I don't want to tell her in front of him, because then I'm gonna have both of them coming at me. So I don't want to do it. So my dad's the kind of person where, like, if he's bored, he'll find him something to do, and he like playing basketball too. So I don't even know where my daddy went, y'all. He left and went somewhere. So I told my mom, I was like, I gotta tell you something. She was like, what? I was like, I'm not pregnant. And she was like, oh my God, you had a miscarriage. I told you don't be out there driving and doing all that and being stressed out. And it's like, she started crying, y'all. And I was just, I felt so bad at this moment, and I was just like, oh my God. So I told her, I was like, honestly, mama, it was an April Fool's joke, and it just went too far and too long. Like, I wasn't even trying to like make it go this long. I said, but honestly, I forgot I had told y'all I was pregnant, and then once I realized that it was too late, because y'all had already bought everything. So my mama was mad at me, y'all. She was like, how dare you play with me like that? She was like, I really thought I was getting a grandchild, you know, you my only child, and and how could I ever be mad at you for being pregnant? Like, that's our blood. Yeah, she was like, made me feel lower than low, and she had every right to, because I played a game that went a little too far. So anyway, before I left and went back to school, I literally took everything back. She had got a bunch of stuff from Target, some stuff from Burlington and stuff. So I took everything back that I could to get her money back, but it was a couple of like blankets and onesies and stuff that was on sale that I couldn't return back to the store. So I looked at the receipt, calculated everything, and gave her back her money for the stuff that I couldn't return. And then I just took the stuff and we donated it, you know, to the people who really needed it or whatever. And I just was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So it's like that one little April Fool's joke that was a lie that went too far. It cost me money, for one, because I had to pay for the stuff, you know, that we couldn't return. But then too, my mama was mad at me for a little bit, and not to the point where she wouldn't talk to me, because when I went back to school, I would call her and I'd be like, hey mama, and she'd be like, hey girl, what's up? And then I'm like, you still mad at me? And she was like, I'm still a little hurt. I'm still a little hurt, you know. And I mean, I understand where she was coming from. I'm an only child. She wants a grandchild. It is what it is. And even to this day, y'all, she still bugs me. Like, she know I'm with Courtney, she know I'm lesbian, but she also knows there's ways to have a baby. So she always be like, so are you gonna have me some grandkids? And then she always bring it up, well, I thought you was pregnant one time and I bought all this stuff. Like, she don't let me live it down. So anyway, the moral of this story time, guys, is even if you're gonna play an April Fool's joke, evaluate the joke and the person that you're gonna play it with, because that's something that I shouldn't have played with, because I've known that my parents have always wanted to be grandparents. So that's something I should have did. Like, I should have just like joked and told her I was selling drugs or something. Like, I shouldn't have did the pregnancy thing. But I had no idea that she would go out and spend a grip to buy all of this stuff when you don't even know how far along I am. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, one thing I do know is whenever I do come and tell Deborah that I'm pregnant, oh, my baby gonna be spoiled. But anyway, guys, like I said, I've done some crazy stuff in my life that hindsight, I'm like, okay, Crystal, we never gonna do that again. So ever since then, I have never played a prank or told anybody I was pregnant or played them kind of games, because I do not want nobody coming back and telling me that I hurt their feelings, or I don't want nobody going to spend all this money and then I gotta reimburse them for baby shit and I ain't even got no baby. You know what I'm saying? So yes, guys, I know that y'all are enjoying the story times, and you know, I'm looking at the comments and I'm cracking up. But like I said when I started the video, I can talk about everybody else, like ex-friends and the stupid shit that they went through, and I can tell my stupid shit too, because I told y'all I can give y'all a story time for the rest of this year. I've did so much stuff, seen so much stuff, been involved in so much stuff, and I've learned from it though. Like, that made me a better person, you know what I'm saying? But this story time right here just taught me don't play them games about pregnancy. But so anyway, yes guys, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe and turn on your notification bell to be notified for the next story time. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.